going on, hip hop fans? Welcome to another edition of Hip Hop Head. My name is Julian Williams. I'm doing a review for Quo Statlanta. Album will be coming out July 13th. Under the Big Dreams or Dream Big venture of Sha Money XL, his label. And Quo, as we all know, us in our hardcore hip hop circle. We know Quo was on Aftermath Entertainment for quite a while. And I believe he left in either 2008, 2009, around that time frame. Put out quite a few mixtapes, put out a few street records or street songs, and overall, about I'd say 7 years after he was signed to Aftermath, he was released, and now he's releasing his new record or old record, Statlanta. Now, by no means is this the Aftermath product of the record, though we have heard things, here and there, of what was on the Aftermath version of Statlanta, and this is a totally new record. And overall, I did give this 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. I do believe that he did have some. I do like the range of topics in the record. I was a huge fan of the range of topics. I liked his delivery, but there were a couple songs on the record that just shouldn't have been on the record. And I also like that there really wasn't too many guest rap appearances, but at the same time, kind of a lack of hooks. The hooks he was really lacking. Because he had pretty much primarily on the record, the majority of the time, more than half the records, he had a singer on the chorus, and sometimes you really don't need a hook to have a good record. Just have clarity within the verses, and that's all right with me. There were a few records out there that didn't have the catchiest hooks, but had the most on point verses. And and that's what's going to stand out more to me when I'm evaluating something. But the lack of hooks really didn't bother me out too much. I won't take off for that, but I was just a fan of his delivery and the range of topics that he talked about. He talked about social problems. He talked about politics. He talked about women. Talked about being a success in the rap game, things like that. And he did show on this record that he can do it without Eminem or Dr. Dre. He did show that on this record, and he's a long line of artists who never came out on the Aftermath label, whose album just consistently got pushed back, such as Bishop Lamont, Joel Ortiz, and many other artists who have been on that label, or Rakim. He left 7 years ago, around the time Stat signed, but he's just one of a long line of artists who just never came out on that label. And I guess to come out on Aftermath, you have to have kind of a buzz, not only a street buzz, but kind of a buzz in the pop world, and Quo is just not that type of rapper. And I don't think he wants pop exposure. I just think that he wants exposure, for hardcore hip hop fans. So onto the record, Statlanta, finally being released after about 5-6 years of waiting. The beginning, the introduction to the record was built up a lot of hype and anticipation into listening to the record. All the verses were on point. Everything, went together very well. I like the wordplay of this record. Of this track, and it was pretty much a good lead-in to Welcome Back, featuring another artist who was signed to Aftermath, Marsha Ambrosius, I believe is how you pronounce it, who's in Fluentry. It was another solid record. Welcome Back. Pretty much proving that he didn't need Dr. Dre or Eminem. He's good enough on his own, and he could put everything together on his own, whatever. So another really good track. Ghetto USA was a good, another good track, another feature. Talked more about, things that happened in, the inner city, issues in the inner city. Overall, that was a solid record. And then Dedicated, I just thought was a filler, was a song that just shouldn't have been on the record. And so we move on a couple tracks. Success, the single, I think a very nice record. I like kind of the laid back flow with and the flow wasn't necessarily laid back, but kind of laid back on his terms. But I kind of like that laid back type song, with the loud drums. I like this song. It's one of my favorite on the record. And then after that there was Catch Me. I believe it was a Boy Wonder. Boy Wonder produced it. I am a fan of Boy Wonder's stuff, but I couldn't really get into Catch Me. I just couldn't get into the record. Cry was a shining moment on the record, if you ask me, because this was a shift to something else. See, Cry was more so, I guess, kind of a cross between Brenda's Got a Baby by Tupac Shakur in 1992 and Nas's Blaze of 50 on The Lost Tapes in 2002. It's you kind of see that a bit of a shift there. It's kind of a record that's in between those, because he's doing kind of the Slick Rick thing. He's telling the story, and then bringing the Tupac element, telling the story, and telling the problems of the problem with the story and how this picture doesn't fit. So one of my favorite songs on the record was Cry. Spaceship, very, I guess, creative approach, decent record. And Lie to You was okay. I wasn't much of a fan of Lie to You. I'm a fan of Devin the Dude. I do consider the Dude to be a classic record. But I just couldn't get into this track as well. The Raheem DeVaughn feature on the chorus. Wasn't too much of a fan of Lie to You. I think it was a song that kind of took a little bit away from the record, quite a bit, because you have kind of this, you're building up this momentum, and then when you get to Lie to You, it kind of just drags down. It's like when you listen to it, it's kind of a drag to listen to. Lie to You, I just felt that was another filler track. After Lie to You, Alright with Talib Kweli, another good track. Track dealing with politics, street. Issues in the inner city, on the streets and stuff. I did enjoy this record. I enjoyed Alright. What I Like, I'm not gonna get into that record. I'm not getting into What I Like, song that just shouldn't have been on the record, if you ask me. And Penthouse Condo, I like the song. Very good way to end it, on a very nice, I guess, kind of a nice laid back feel to it. I liked Penthouse Condo. I liked the flow and delivery on that record. So I did give this 3.5 out of 5. And it could be a 4 mic. It could have been a 4 mic album if there wasn't so many. I guess if there wasn't any fillers, because I just felt that it kind of just went downhill. After Cry, I just felt that it went a little downhill, and at the end it really picked up. And then What I Like came on, and then after What I Like was Penthouse Condo. So 3.5 out of 5. Very solid debut. He did prove that he didn't necessarily need Dr. Dre or Eminem to make a solid record, but at the same time, I just think I do believe that production wise, it was an okay job production wise. I did like how he got he did get Boy Wonder on the record. One of the top producers today. Other than Boy Wonder, I believe Sha Money produced a couple, but overall 3.5 out of 5. Anyway, I'll be back for Pilot Talk by Currency next, and thanks for watching. Peace.